Today, I will be having two special guests. I will be having the editor of Shoe Fly magazine, and I will also be having special host Nick Lawrence with me here today. That will be taking place probably about 15 minutes or so. So definitely make sure you tune in to listen. And also, today, if any of you watch Newsbreak is the television station here at Kutztown. There will be a special Halloween episode, so make sure you tune in. I'm one of the anchors, and Jeff is my co host on the show. And all of us will be in our costumes. Now, if you listened to me yesterday, you will know that I said that I have two costumes. I have a devil's costume, and I also have a cowgirl's costume. So if you would like to see which costume I will be wearing today, make sure you watch Newsbreak because it will be our Halloween episode. Each and every year, all of the talent, all of the reporters, we all dress in costumes. Now, this is my first year being the anchor of Newsbreak. So I'm kind of excited. I'm really excited to be, a part of the cast and also to be wearing my costume. So definitely make sure you look out for that. I don't know what everyone else is wearing. I'm really anxious to see what everyone else is going to be wearing. Like, I know in the past, Diana, she used to be one of the co-anchors. And I think she had like a hippie costume last year. No. It was a flapper. Yeah, she was a flapper last year for Halloween. But I actually didn't buy any of my costumes. I created them all. Like, I'll buy like little accessories to go with clothes that I already have at home. But I didn't buy any, costumes this year because I'm kind of on a budget. But this is the first year that I have two costumes. So I'll probably wear one tonight for the show and another for, my parties that I'll be going to this weekend. I do not know what I'll be doing, but I'm pretty sure there's a couple parties that'll be happening around campus, lots of events that I can go to. I know that the South Dining Hall is having a party starting at 4:30. There will be like a haunted house there. There will be candy, food, live music, and a DJ. So I'll probably go to that. And also, tomorrow, I will be meeting with President Dr. Hawkinson tomorrow. I will be having a luncheon with him, his wife, and I believe his dog Winnie tomorrow. Me and a few other students, we have the privilege of meeting with Dr. Hawkinson. I'm not sure if our luncheon is going to be Halloween related, but I'm definitely looking forward to, having lunch with the president. It's always good talking to him and seeing him. I like to see and hear some of the things that he plans to do for the university. I know that last week I went to the open house that he had, and like I said, he spoke on lots of issues regarding the enrollment rate here at Kutztown. And, some of the students mentioned that the lack of diversity could be one of the issues, and as well as the programs that are offered here. They wish that, there were more things for students to do within their program. Like one of the students mentioned that the environmental science program, nobody really knows about that program, and there's not many resources for that program. So those were two of the main issues that I heard when I was at the open house last Thursday. And so he said that he will be planning to, sit down with other staff and faculty at the university to try to solve these problems or decrease these problems so that he is able to bring more students to this university. So I'm looking forward to what he's going to do with that. And also, next week is my boyfriend's birthday. I have a couple of things that I would like to do for his birthday. I'm not sure if I want to go. I was thinking about going like zip lining, but I don't think I want to do that. I know that I'm probably going to be cooking dinner. I haven't cooked a real meal since the semester started. We've pretty been like eating junk food and things like that. So I'll probably be cooking dinner and probably going somewhere within the Allentown and Reading area. I'm not sure where I would like to go yet. There's not many, things here, but I'm thinking about maybe going to a comedy show. I know that there's a lot of comedy shows on the weekends in the Allentown area. Like, there's a lot of bars there. I've been there a few times. So I'm thinking about either going to a comedy show or a lounge or maybe even laser tag. My friend put the idea in my head. So, if you guys have any ideas for me, please call the station number at 610-683-4058. Keep tuning in, and you're listening to Kutztown Live.
KUR, the radio voice of Kutztown University, and Golden Bears football is your winning combination this fall. KUR is once again your official radio source for all KU football broadcasts on the road. Join the Golden Bears' Matt Santos in his 24th season of covering the team and his special guests live from the booth as they bring you each and every exciting play from the 2015 road slate. We'll be at IUP, Cheney, Westchester, Bloomsburg, and Lock Haven, wherever the Golden Bears go. All broadcasts will begin 10 minutes before kickoff. That's KU football on the road all this season on KUR, your exclusive radio home for Kutztown University Golden Bears football.
It's on us
to stop sexual assault.
To do something, anything, to keep an assault from happening.
To take reports of sexual assault seriously.
Get in the way if we see something happening.
It's on us to never blame the victim.
To be part of the solution, not part of the problem.
It's on us, the entire Kutztown University family, to stop sexual assault.
I took the pledge, and you can too, at itsonus.org.
Hey everyone, it's Shantae and welcome to Kutztown Live. Now, as I said it before, I said that I will have a special guest with me here today. I have Nick Lawrence with me here. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Shantae, good to see you again.
Hey,
it's always fun to be on the radio with you. I love talking to you and talking about the stuff that you talk about here on the air. So
yeah, it's been a month since you've been on the show.
Yeah, I know it's been a little while since I've been here. Yeah, so I was reading through some stuff the other day, and we're talking about I work with teenagers on the weekend, but obviously you guys are a little bit older than that. But we always talk about dress codes and for high school. But now I'm understanding that people are thinking there's some studies out there saying that college kids dress down too much, and it's not necessarily good for them when they're thinking about going into the workforce. So what do you think about that? Does the way people dress in college, does it affect how they're going to dress when they get out in the workforce?
I don't think that's necessarily true for all people. Like, there's a professor here. He dresses down pretty much every day. His wardrobe consists of jeans, graphic T-shirt, and sneakers.
The professor dresses that way?
Yeah. Yes, okay. Yes. There are a few professors here that dress down, not just the students.
Yeah.
But just because a professor dresses down does not mean that he can't teach.
Okay.
And, when I first enter a classroom and I see a professor dressed down, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to take you seriously. I'm not going to listen to you. Like you don't even look like you even want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
You look like you don't care. But once he finally opened his mouth and, I saw that he was actually a good teacher, I learned, not to judge him based on his appearance. But what I will say that I feel as though college students are dressing down simply because all throughout elementary school, all throughout middle school, all throughout high school, we were, confined and we had to wear uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
So when we come to this college, we want to be free. We want to be able to do what we want to do. But I do think that there's a time and place for when college students should, dress more professional. I feel as though when they go on these interviews, they need to dress professional. When they give a presentation, they need to dress professional.
So let me ask you, do you think that you act differently when you are dressed up versus when you're really dressed down, maybe wearing sweats or baggy sweatpants and things like that? Do you act differently personally as a person?
Yeah, I feel more confident.
When you're dressed up.
Yes, I feel more confident. I always want to take pictures. I feel put together. I feel like I'm going to like do something to make a difference when I'm more dressed up compared to when I'm in sweats. When I'm in sweats, I feel lazy. I feel bummy. I feel chill.
Okay, so let's explore that. So you said this college professor, though, he doesn't dress down in a sense of like, he isn't wearing sweatpants
he doesn't wear sweats.
or PJs to class or anything.
No.
Right? So you respect him for what he does as a teacher, though, right? But your initial thing was, if he's not dressing up for us, maybe he doesn't have respect for us in a way? Was that your initial thought till you heard him talk?
I was thinking maybe he doesn't take his job seriously, and we're paying our money for these people to teach us so that we can learn, so that we can acquire these skills and knowledge. So when I first saw him, I'm like, maybe he doesn't really care. Maybe he's not taking his job seriously. Yeah. Maybe he doesn't have respect for his job. Maybe he doesn't have respect for us. That was my first thought. So when I first saw this professor. But then again, when I saw him, started to teach, he's really good at what he does. But he said that, you gotta dress. He said every interview and every job he had to dress professional. But he said once he got here, he asked his department what's the dress code. They said there is no dress code.
Okay.
So, for that, he just decided to dress how he wants to dress and wear what he wants to wear.
So the professors, you think in general they dress better than the students do in general? And do women professors, dress any differently than men professors? Any women that dress down like that you're talking about?
Sneakers, no. I've never seen a woman professor in sweats nor sneakers. I think the male professors dress more casual than the female professors. Like, I'll see it's nothing. Now, listen, you can make jeans look really professional.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You can make it look fancy.
Sure.
Like, you can wear, like, heels with a nice little blazer. You could do that. And I've seen some of my female professors do that. And then I see one of my professors, she wears heels, dress pants, blazers, ties, makeup, hair done every single time. Every single time I've seen her. So I do think that my male professors dress down more than my female professors.
So in general, would you say that you're similar to most college kids as the way you dress, or do you think more kids dress down compared to the way you dress? I mean, every time I've seen you not dressed up really like going out on a date, but you're always dressed nicely. You look great and you're always put together. And do you think most kids dress that way? And is it different for guys and girls, you think?
That's a tricky question. I think most of the students here dress down. Like girls, they do. I was reading that article, and they said sweatpants and Uggs. That's what a lot of the girls here dress. They wear tights, sweats, and Uggs. A lot of the girls. And I don't own a pair of Uggs.
Really?
Do you know how much Uggs cost?
They are expensive.
Really expensive. And I don't even find them. They don't attract me. I don't think they're a good-looking pair of shoes. But what I will say is they are comfortable.
Yeah.
They're comfortable. It's like you're putting on slippers. Yes, I do dress different in the sense that I do not wear Uggs on the daily basis. I do not wear tights on a daily basis, and nor do I wear sweats on a daily basis. I might wear sweats maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks.
But it's not your normal mode of dress. You tend to dress nicely in a sense, right?
Yeah.
Which I think it's a good thing, because I think if you don't practice this stuff early on in life, there's nothing to say that you'll end up doing it just because somebody else expects you to do it. But if you have pride in yourself and you've done that most of your life, there's a good chance you're going to go to an interview being dressed really nicely, because it's going to be consistent with you. It's going to be comfortable for you. People that dress down all the time and then they go to an interview dressed up, it doesn't fit, it doesn't seem to work for them. What do you think?
See, like, I had a period of time where, like, back in the day, like, I know that most applications are online today, but there are some companies or businesses where you still have to go in and apply.
Physically, yeah.
Yeah, so one day, my mom was like, it was during the summer, I believe probably it was during my freshman year of college. She said, I want you to go down to the security place and apply for this job. I'm walking on the steps. She sees holy jeans, a t-shirt, and flats. And she was like, are you going down to apply for a job wearing that? I'm like, yes, I'm just applying for the job, Mom. I don't have the interview.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, it doesn't matter. She said, you're supposed to dress and look the part, no matter what. She said, you don't know who's going to be down there. You don't know who's going to see you. And, you know, I was very stubborn. I still am stubborn in some way. But now when I think back, now that I'm a senior, not a freshman in college, I completely understand what she meant about that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've learned how to dress more, business-like and professional.
Well, and it makes sense because the other thing is not only just dressing, but like how many people do you know have piercings? They have tattoos everywhere, and then they go to an interview and they wonder why the interviewer doesn't necessarily see that as a good thing. They're expressing themselves, which is, we need to express ourselves. But if you've got piercings in your eyebrows and your nose and your lip or someplace, and you go to an interview, it's very difficult, I think, for an interviewer to see that person past what they see on the outside of them. What do you think about that? I mean, piercings and tattoos are another big thing when it comes to dressing, right?
Yeah, especially with just this generation. We tend to go overboard with the piercings and tattoos. I don't have any tattoos. I'm probably one of the only college.
Probably.
Yeah, one of the only
right?
college students that doesn't have tattoos.
Right.
A tattoo is something permanent, and I just never saw a reason to get one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to get something just because everyone else gets it.
Well, I mean, there are appropriate tattoos, and then there are people.
You're right.
They call it body art. I mean, really, and their bodies are covered with it. They have it everywhere,
Yes.
and then you notice that when people have tattoos and piercings, that they tend to wear clothes that will emphasize those tattoos or piercings, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so. But we were talking about being in a professional environment. You're a senior. You're going to be graduating, and you want to make sure you make a great impression. I doubt that you're going to go to an interview in sweatpants.
No. I wouldn't even show up to work in sweatpants either, nor sneakers.
Yeah.
But as far as tattoos and piercings, I don't think that people should get tattoos on their face. I've seen lots of guys with full tattoos on their faces and, gouges and tongue piercings and nose piercings. And, although I think people should express themselves, but I just don't agree with the face tattoos, especially because it's definitely going to prevent you from getting high-paying jobs. I'm not saying that they won't be able to get a job because it is possible,
Right.
but they won't be able to get a high-paying job.
And piercings you can take out.
Yeah.
A tattoo is very difficult, and in most cases it's permanent. They say they have procedures now that you can actually take a tattoo, but for the most part, you make a decision at 18, 19, 20, and that decision is going to be there the rest of your life.
Yes, you're correct. Sometimes I'm young now, but I don't know. I think I have like an older person mindset in a way.
You're an old soul. You think you're an old soul?
Yeah, definitely. I think that sometimes, as young people, we don't really think about the future, like decades from now. We're all about now, like right now.
Thinking in the present, yeah.
Yeah, we're not about, thinking about the future. Like, how can this affect us in the future?
Mm-hmm.
So I do think people should be more cautious when it comes to getting tattoos and piercings because it can prevent you from, getting a job that you really want.
Mm-hmm. People think, and I'm curious to know because it's been a while since I've been in college, but do you think that people learn better when they actually feel comfortable or comfy, as they use the word, or do you learn better when there's a little bit of more properly dressed in a sense? Because I think college kids think that they just like to be relaxed. I mean, our whole society is relaxed a lot, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know. I've seen a couple guys here in business suits and business attires, and they seem like really put together. Like they seem really put together, and they seem like they really want to take on the world. And I see them participate more compared to the other students that are like, chill, relaxed, and sluggish. So I can say that it can affect your learning in a way, but just because a student is wearing sweats doesn't mean that they don't want to learn.
Right. Any extreme probably is not good. Right. And I just think overall society, probably your parents' generation, especially your grandparents' generation, they would go out to dinner and people would dress up. or if you see old movies and things like they're all dressed up to do that. But I think, it's everything's gotten more lax. So I think your guest has arrived. Your other guest is here, I think, right?
Yes. As I told y'all earlier, I was going to have the editor of Shoe Fly magazine here with us today. So she will be, getting asked a few questions about the publication and everything. So right after these promos, we'll be right back. You're listening to Kutztown Live.
Disney Live presents 3 classic fairy tales, presented by Yo Kids Organic Yogurt. See the princesses you love come to life. Join Snow White on an exciting journey through the enchanted forest. Follow Belle into a thrilling adventure with the Beast. And be amazed as Cinderella transforms into a dazzling princess. See this stunning stage show in your hometown.
Kids tickets are $15. Restrictions and additional charges may apply. Playing November 6th at Reading Eagle Theater at the Santander Arena. Get your tickets today at Ticketmaster.
Hey everyone, it's Shantae, and you are listening to Kutztown Live. I have the editor of Shoe Fly magazine with me here today. Her name is Kimberly. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you? Can you hear me?
So, one of the questions that I have, so you, I just have some general, questions.
Mm-hmm.
What year are you?
I'm a sophomore.
Okay, yeah. I'm a senior in at Kutztown, and I'm a communications major and with a minor in professional writing. So that's why I wanted you to come on the show, because I've never heard of Shoe Fly magazine, and I wanted to learn more about it. Professor Vicola, you probably know him.
Mm-hmm.
He's my copy line and editing teacher. So he's the one who told me about the publication and everything. So how long have you been with Shoe Fly magazine?
Okay, well, I've been with Shoe Fly since actually first semester of my freshman year. I pretty much attended every club on campus that first semester, and Shoe Fly was the one that stuck. I think it's just crazy you haven't heard of Shoe Fly before.
No, I've never heard of Shoe Fly, and I just found out about Keystonia like a couple of weeks ago.
Nobody knows about Keystonia.
Oh. Yeah, I've never heard of Shoe Fly. You said you've been there since freshman year.
Yes.
Wow. And why did you decide to be a part of Shoe Fly magazine?
All right. Well, you might be a professional writing minor, but I'm a professional writing major.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always really enjoyed writing, both, poetry, fiction, drama, all the stuff that Shoe Fly really looks at.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives me a lot of opportunities to just practice a lot of those skills that come up in my major, looking at creative writing, judging it. Hey, why is this a good piece? Or copy editing. It's just a really great club.
And what is the purpose of Shoe Fly magazine? Like, what does your magazine stand for?
Okay, well, it's basically just creating opportunities for people on campus. We do have a very large staff who get the opportunity to put this book together, choose the stories, edit them, just do public relations and get the word out, which clearly we need to do a little more if you haven't heard of us. But hey, that's why we're here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then on the other hand, we allow a lot of people right here in Kutztown to get their works published. And it's just really great, because even if you just, send in a few works, like, that's not a lot of time. You don't need to be a major part of this magazine, but you're still benefiting from it.
What type of content is featured in Shoe Fly?
Okay, so we have fiction, we have poetry, and we also accept drama works. We're also open to creative non-fiction. So generally, if it's creative writing, we want to see it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I went to one of Shoe Fly's readings 2 weeks ago, and there were probably about 3 people that decided to read some of their literature and work. I think it was kind of nice. It's kind of like an open mic, but for you know, writing. So I really enjoyed that, and I think Professor Vacola, is he your advisor?
Yes, he is.
Yes,
He's great.
yes. Okay. And what classes have you had with him?
Oh, let me think about that actually. Just copy and line.
Copy line and editing, really?
Yes.
And what did you say you took that last year?
I did actually last semester. I was so excited to be a part of that class.
Really?
I really
What?
enjoyed it.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, that class scared me.
Oh
It
my
scared
gosh,
me.
it's literally made every other class I've taken in that my major so much easier. Just because now I can work on my stuff so much easier.
Yeah, I was a little nervous about taking the class, but it's actually not too bad. It's not too hard. It's not too difficult as I thought it would be. My hardest writing class right now is actually desktop publishing.
Oh yeah, I've thought about taking that one.
Yeah, it's it's hard and it's very, very difficult. It's not easy and it's very
Yikes.
stressful. No, I'm telling you the truth. But I mean, I don't know if you need to take it.
I'm considering it. Everybody I've talked to,
Good luck.
everybody I've talked to who's taken it is like, well, I'm glad I took it, but might be one of those classes where you know, you hate it while you're taking it, but it's like, but I guess I learned.
Yeah, it's really, really hard. But you're a professional writing major.
Yes, I am.
So it might be easier for you.
Fingers crossed, right?
Yeah, so aside from that, how can students and staff contribute and be a part of Shoe Fly magazine? Like, where can they be featured, or what are the requirements?
Okay. So there's a few ways. First of all, we do have the club itself. You can become a member of the staff. We meet pretty much every Thursday in Lytle 204. You can always email us at shoefly@kutztown.edu and find out, hey, are you guys having a meeting? We always accept new people. 2, you can submit your work. So long as you're a Kutztown student, we want to see it. And our due date for that is going to be November 15th. We have more information about that on our website, shoefly.joomla.com. Also, we have a cover contest every year. So for our very big art program, you can submit and have a chance to be on the cover of Shoe Fly magazine. And actually, the due date for that is in about 2 days. And we've only gotten one submission so far. But speaking from past experience, I expect we're going to get like 10 more in the next 24 hours. And finally, we do have some events. We have the readings, like you were mentioning earlier. Once a month, we'll have a reading at 7 o'clock in the MSU President's Room, where we have a few featured readers who have about 15 minutes where they can read their work. And we also have open mic, which sometimes people aren't brave enough for, but they can just come up, talk for about 3 minutes or so, read a couple poems, read a very short work or an excerpt from a work. It's a really great time, and sometimes people bring snacks and tea, so that's always nice.
Yeah, so now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure if I went to your readings or the open mic.
They're pretty much the same thing.
So it's the same thing. Yeah, but I know it was at 7 p.m. on Thursday.
Yeah, it's a combination.
The only thing is like I would love to go to more. It's just that it kind of conflicts with my schedule in a way because I do news break from like 6 to 7:30. So I always tell Professor Ricola, I'm like, I don't know if I can make it because I go to news break. Like if I do go, it's going to be at 7:30.
I know.
But I think the professional writing is a really good department.
Absolutely.
And I've been learning a lot, with this department. It has definitely strengthened my writing skills and everything like that. And I might submit, like I told the other person from Kutztown, I just might submit like a poem or something, like something small, first, before I can like just submit 4-page story or so. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But
once a year.
yeah. But we'll be right back with the editor of Shoe Fly Magazine. You are listening to Kutztown Live.
The big man is coming to Reading. Trace Adkins. Live on stage. November 19th, Santander Performing Arts Center. Get your tickets quick. The party is sure to sell out. Trace Adkins. Tickets on sale now at the box office, Ticketmaster.com, or by phone. Don't miss Trace Adkins. Live on stage.
One Night Live with Slightly Stupid. November 11th, 8 p.m., Sands Bethlehem Event Center. With special guest, Stick Figure. Tickets on sale now at sandseventcenter.com, Ticketmaster.com, or the Sands box office.
All you got to do is sing.
Hey everyone, it's Shantae, and I'm here with Kimberly, the editor of Shoe Fly Magazine. We're talking about the magazine and some things that can be featured in the magazine, how you all can be a part of the publication. But I do have a few last questions for Kimberly before she leaves. So I would like to know, what are some of the goals you hope to accomplish with the magazine?
Okay, so we've got a few things we're working on right now. Number one of our editors, there are actually a few editors, we're kind of a tyranny of equals. One of our editors is really working on the idea of getting some workshops going so people can bring in their pieces and really look at them and say, hey, what's working, what's not, before they submit. We have people who are really working on public relations, getting very gung-ho about that. We're trying to get some fundraising off the ground. We're trying to look into, hey, can we maybe sell pizza on campus? We're not sure, but we're hopeful. And let's see. There's been a little bit of talk about opening up Kutztown to people from other schools, but that's very preliminary. And also, we're trying to put together a logo contest. So Shoe Fly can have a new logo. Yes.
Like that. What is it? Not the graphic design department, but what do you call that department? Not communication studies, but it's something
communication design.
Yes,
or something like
that department. I think they usually make all the homecoming shirts and the logos and things like that for the school, and so I think that would be a good contest for them. And you also mentioned that you are planning to workshops. I like that idea as well, because I was going to ask you, what if someone wants to submit something and what it doesn't fit? It doesn't fit, what you guys usually post, or publish. So how do y'all go about that? Like, do y'all just deny them, or you say, hey, this works, but this doesn't?
Well, usually the workshops definitely can help with that. We're fairly open, honestly. Like, we'll take all genres, and again, we'll take poetry, we'll take fiction, all of that. So generally, if we're denying something, it's because of a problem in the work itself, often in the writing. Usually we're going to reject rather than contact the person. Just because it's somewhat problematic. Number one, it's a blind acceptance process. So when we have a bunch of people discussing it, suddenly, if we have to contact that person, we have to know who they are. And if we were to contact them and say, hey, you're accepted if you do this, that can cause some problems, because then they're kind of getting their hopes up, and if things don't quite work out how we like them, that can cause some troubles. So generally, it's a pretty clear accept, reject.
Okay. How often can people submit? Because you're saying that the next submission deadline to submit is November 14th, or is it the 15th? So do you do it weekly or is it monthly? It seems like it's monthly.
Oh, no. Okay. So this actually factors into our goals a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But, okay. So we put out a book once a year.
Oh.
So every year we have a deadline in mid-November where you can submit anything you've written in the past year or before that. Ours this year is going to be November 15th, and then we have a very long process of reading the works, looking through them, choosing what's best for the magazine, editing, so on, so on. We have actually been talking a little bit about having a stronger online presence and publishing some works throughout the year online, but we're really working on getting that website up and trying to put it all together.
I like that idea. Speaking of that, do you have a public relations person that can promote this?
We do. We have Julian, who is the head of our PR department. He just recently visited the English Club to talk about Shoofly. He's usually the one who is in charge of our PR people. We have people who are kind of very much devoted to that. He couldn't be here today, but generally he's our go-to guy.
Yeah. And does Shoofly have any social media pages that people can find information?
Yes. Oh my gosh, I have a list here because I can't keep track of them. So we have a Facebook page, Shoofly Literary Magazine at Kutztown University. And the picture there is just our magazine, very orange and pink. It's kind of hard to miss. We have Twitter, Shoofly Literary Mag and I believe it's at KU Shoofly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we might have a Snapchat, but honestly,
really?
I'm really not 100% sure on that one. And we do have the webpage I mentioned earlier, shoofly.joomla.com. So we are definitely online.
And are all those pages active? Like, do you constantly post things for people to see?
Facebook is pretty active. Twitter is pretty active. The webpage is definitely still happening. It's still kind of in its infancy.
Okay. All right. Well, I would like to thank you for coming on our show today to tell us about Shoofly Magazine. And I'm looking forward to what's going to be published.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
The fall concert season is hot with Yellow Card and Newfound Glory. Live in concert. Saturday, October 31st, 8 o'clock, Sands Bethlehem Event Center. Yellow Card and Newfound Glory with special guest Tiger's Jaw. Tickets on sale this Friday at noon at sandseventcenter.com, Ticketmaster.com, or the Sands box office.
Did you know that 80% of KU students don't binge drink?
Hanging posters again? Do you think that poster is really true?
Yes, it is true. I am a KU health ambassador and familiar with the audit. KU students participate in alcohol screening each year. We use the alcohol use disorder identification test. It is a simple way to screen and identify people who are at risk of developing alcohol problems. We have learned that the majority of students are taking care of business and focusing on academics.
You know, most of my friends don't drink, so I guess what this poster is saying is true.
Would you like to get a group of friends together for a bite to eat?
Sounds great. Text me later.
Kutztown Living, neighbor to neighbor.
Funded by the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board.
Kutztown University's Department of Information Technology recently launched MyKU Mobile, which can be accessed at mykumobile.kutztown.edu. MyKU Mobile provides a quick way for students to view grades, financial aid information, announcements, and schedules, all from your phone. The new site also integrates with social networking sites, enabling students to post their schedules on Twitter and Facebook without ever having to use a computer. Make sure to visit myku.kutztown.edu for the best way to view MyKU on your phone.
Hey everyone, it's Shantae and welcome to Kutztown Live. Now earlier we were talking about the issue of having a dress code for college students. I just want to know, what do you think about dress codes for college students, Debbie?
I really don't think colleges should have dress codes. I mean, it's like you said, in high school, we are literally conformed to what we can wear and restricted. I mean, I didn't go to a private school. I went to public school. So we didn't have uniforms. But the dress codes got a little bit ridiculous. Like the whole thing with tank tops.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a big issue.
Yeah, especially in other schools. Like, girls are constantly being, like, body shamed by the staff because they think that a girl walking around with her shoulders exposed is bad for the male students' learning. And I'm just, if I'm watching it on TV or reading it on Facebook, I'm just sitting there thinking, what? Did I miss something? Because I don't think so. I mean, when it comes to shoulders, they're pretty well behaved. It's other things I'm worried about.
Yeah, I don't agree with that either. They saying, like, I remember when it came to prom season, they were really strict as far as the dress code, like spaghetti straps and, things like that. But I don't think anyone could be turned on by shoulders. I mean, so
yeah, exactly.
I don't agree with that either. But what I will say, if anything is like too short as far as skirt,
yes,
or too tight, or if girls are, wearing these low cut shirts, I think that will affect, the school and maybe distract guys from learning. But I do not agree with the whole spaghetti straps and the whole tank tops. I definitely don't agree with that. And as far as college, having a dress code, I'm about to graduate. So that's not going to affect me. But my brother is still in school, and I still have other friends who are still in school. So as far as there being a dress code, I really don't think there should be a dress code. Because I feel like college is a place where we should all be free.
So guys, when you're thinking, when you're in college, are there any courses that teach you how to get ready for a job interview, how to
Yes.
dress, how to look good, what you should be doing? Are there courses like that here?
There's a class that I took. It's called Writing for the Workplace.
Okay.
It teaches you how to write a resume, how to write a cover letter, and it also teaches you how to dress for interviews, how to dress, I guess, in the workplace, and how to interact with your coworkers.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just thinking, when I was growing up, and maybe when Mike was growing up, we knew what was expected of us all the time, and people believed that what you wore and how you talked, meaning like if you used bad language and things like that, said something about you as a person. There's this lady in this article, Alex Schaefer, her name is, and she's a senior apparel merchandising major. She says in here, although we may not want to admit it, what we wear has a big impact on people's perceptions of us. And while wearing crazy leggings may be tempting, it's important for college students to start thinking about dressing for the career that they are pursuing. And she says in here that you look around at the people in the career that you want to go to and the people around you, and she said you should dress one step above what you see other people doing. So I'm going to ask both of you this. Do kids not dress better because they're concerned that people would make fun of them if they dress up more and because most kids dress down? What do you guys think about that? Shantae, what do you think?
I'm thinking that I think students dress down simply because they want to. There are students who feel as though if they do dress up, they will get like clowned for it.
Yeah.
Saying like, oh, like you think you better than us, or like, what are you trying to be, the teacher's pet, or why you're trying too hard. I was actually told on the interview that I was trying too hard. I went on an interview to intern at a radio station in Philly. It was me and my friend. We were going for a interview at a radio station because I said that my junior year I wanted an internship at a radio station or TV station. And I know that the radio industry is a little bit more relaxed than the TV industry. But I said, this is an interview, so I'm going to dress professional. So I went on the interview, and the lady pointed to me and my friend and said that we were trying too hard. She said she doesn't really care about our resume, don't really care about, like, how bad or, like, we want the job, you know. I guess she just more so cared about our personality and like the questions weren't related to the radio industry whatsoever, you know. So
that surprised you, I would think, right?
Yeah, I've never been told that I was trying too hard. You know, I always thought that maybe I didn't try hard enough. So for her to say that what I was wearing wasn't good, I mean, not good, but I wasn't, you know, I was trying too hard. I mean, that completely threw me off guard.
Yeah. So, Debbie, what do you think about that? What about now? You said you didn't grow up with uniforms, and Shantae was saying that, you know, we should be able to be free in college. But do the clothes that you wear reflect anything about who you are as a person or the language that you use? Does it say anything about you at all?
I really think it depends on the person, really. Like, how can I explain this? Like, if someone wears something more conservative, does it make them seem like they're all stiff and close-minded? No, I think it's just more about the personality, not the clothes.
So your generation is probably more accepting of everybody than previous generations. You tend not to judge other people as much, do you think, as other generations have done?
I like to think so. Like, when it comes to certain issues, like, let's say same-sex relationships. There are people who are totally against it. Me, I'm just thinking, if you're happy, go for it. Have fun. Live your life. You only live once.
Shantae?
Well, okay. As far as the are we referring to the same sex you know, dress code?
Doesn't really matter. Like, you can really think about it anyway.
Okay, I'm going to give my take on it, and I'm going to, you know, ask people what are their thoughts on same-sex couples and the dress code regarding genders. So if any of you have anything to say about this, please call the station at 610-683-4859. Again, the number is 610-683-4859. So,
you have a caller, Shantae.
Oh, I do have a caller. Okay. All right. I didn't know I had a caller. It's the first. Oh, I guess they hung up.
Looks like we lost them. Hopefully they call back.
Yeah. As far as that, there have been things in the media that say that I guess a female who is a lesbian and she has, you know, a girlfriend and they're going to a prom, she cannot wear a tuxedo or a tux. There have been, you know, things like that in the media. They did not like that. And there's also been things in the media about, you know, males wearing dresses to proms and how their photos weren't posted in the yearbook. I actually wrote a story on this during my internship about how students were not published in the yearbook because of what they wore, because they went against the school dress code. So, yeah, things like that happen.
Yeah.
And I'm just reading. You got a good topic here because not only you got a phone call, but they hung up unfortunately. But we also have some stuff on our Facebook page. I guess in these modern days, people want to participate that way instead of calling in. That's fine. Dennis from Allentown's listening, and he said the only enforcement should be towards students who show up in their pajamas. Also, flip-flops should be banned from November to March.
Oh,
if I were a professor, he goes on, if I were a professor and students entered my class in pajamas and flip-flops, I would go ballistic. How dare you show up to my class in pajamas?
Yeah. I don't think students should show up to class in pajamas.
We have a phone call again. Let's try this again.
All right.
Having trouble with it. Okay. Well, somebody's trying to call.
Yeah. I do not think that students should wear pajamas. I don't know. To me, it's kind of disgusting. Like you're rolling out of bed and just come to class in your pajamas. It's just kind of disgusting.
So Shantae, what about hygiene? People coming to class, not maybe brushing their teeth, not combing their hair, they just show up. We
It's
see that
disgusting.
sometimes even in
Yes.
church. People are going to church kind of dressed down anymore. Is that, you think that's happening societally or here on campus or what? What do you think when you see people like that who just don't seem to take care of themselves? It just seems like pride, doesn't it?
I think people should take pride in their appearance and what they look like. I know that everybody doesn't have, a great sense of style. And that's
Right.
completely fine. That's completely fine if, you're not stylish or, you're not into fashion like that. But it doesn't take much to brush your hair, brush your teeth, take a shower, put on clothes that are ironed, look presentable. It doesn't take much to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think that's an issue as far as hygiene. I do think that, students and even adults, I think they should take care of themselves.
So maintaining your individuality, Debbie, is
Mhm.
important, right?
Yeah.
It's important to maintain your individuality, but we do live in a society on some level, and there have to be some standards. I mean, at least I think. What do you guys think?
Like back to the whole hygiene thing. If you're coming to class, please brush your hair and please brush your teeth. Because if you're talking to someone, no one wants to smell your morning breath. But if you're just having a lazy day at home, lying around in your PJs with your hair the way it is when you woke up, that's fine.
Well,
if you're just
sure.
hanging out at home.
Yeah.
I do it every weekend because
Yeah, me too. I love
I'm
it.
just like, as soon as I wake up, I'm like, no, I don't want to get up. I want to stay in my bed. Especially since my bed doesn't want me to leave sometimes.
So is there a dress code at Kutztown against wearing PJs? Or can people can wear pajamas to class?
No, a student wore pajamas in class yesterday.
Really?
I don't think there's a dress code. You see all types of things. Like this one girl, she showed up in like club attire.
Really?
Like there was a very, very short skirt, a low cut shirt, and she was wearing heels. And I'm just like, are you serious? So I don't think there's any dress code as far as that. No, I don't think there is a dress code. And if there were to ever be a dress code, I don't think they should ban sweats. Or ban Uggs. But maybe pajamas, maybe ban pajamas, but I don't think they should ban sweats or, things like that.
So this is cool stuff, really. It's actually a good topic, right?
Yeah.
Because it affects everybody. And I think, you started off saying that you had a professor who dressed down. Your
Yeah.
initial reaction was that maybe the person wasn't the best, or meaning in a sense that they didn't care about you because they didn't pride themselves. But once they opened their mouth to teach, then you felt completely different about it. In general, do people work that way, or do we still judge people? Do we still judge that expression, you judge a book by its cover?
I mean, I feel like in the society, we'll always judge people by their appearance. I don't think that's ever going to change. Whether it's in the workforce or whether it's in relationships, friendships, or in any, thing in life, we're always going to judge people by their appearance. So I think that first impressions are very important. I do think students should dress up more for presentations. They should dress up when they go on an interview. And if their job states that there's a dress code, they should follow by that dress code. That's my opinion on that.
So is it hard to be an individual, or is it easy? I mean, we talk about being conformist and conforming, peer pressure and things like that. Is it hard, or is it easy to be an individual? What do you guys think about that? I'm curious to hear what you think. Debbie, any thoughts?
I think it depends. Like I said, I think it depends on the person. Like, if you're confident in who you are, like not overly confident, but fairly confident, then you don't really care what anyone thinks about you.
Mm-hmm.
So for them, it's easy to be an individual. But for others, if they're not quite comfortable in who they are, but they're working at it, then they kind of go on what people think about them. Like me, I really don't care what people think about me. Like, I consider myself weird. If anyone wants to consider me weird, go ahead. I don't find it an insult. My brother calls me weird all the time. I'm like, I know. Do you? We've lived together for like 20 years of my life.
So, Shantae, you said you're not easily influenced by other people.
No. There are plenty of things that students do on campus that I don't do. Like, I'm not big into partying or anything like that. But like as I said before, people can put their own twist as far as dressing, professional. Just because you dress professional doesn't mean that you can't be yourself. Doesn't mean that you cannot be an individual. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
Great topic. Hey, thanks for letting me be on the show today. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Nick and Debbie, for coming on the show today.